Josh Smith is the Chief Technology Officer right here at Golden Media, talking West Tennessee. The digital side is Professional Technology Services. Josh is a great American, and he's in the house, and ain't no doubt. Hey, Josh.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing great. How about you?
Doing good.
So AI is going to take over, so we brought in the absolute best, partnered with the best when it comes to AI and writing code and all that great stuff. So those of you watching the show, we can see you too. And many of you out there, you looked a whole lot better when masks were mandated. I'll tell you that. But Josh, so where are we headed with all this technology, man? Should we be afraid of AI?
Oh, no, I don't think so. AI it's been around for years. You know, it hasn't been talked about the way that it is now. It hasn't been utilized the way that it is now, but it's been around for probably 20 years. We're actually implementing a piece of software here at the radio station that will make our lives easier. It'll integrate with every bit of our life. We've nicknamed it Skynet. And if you've heard that name before, you know what that means.
Get out of here now! Yes.
That's right. Skynet's actually a real program. They use it in China, and it runs part of their...
You're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding at all. It runs a big portion of their government, and they call that project, or that program, they call it Skynet. The movie, Terminator, gave it a bad name, but I mean, AI it's everywhere. It's in our watch. It's in our phone. It's in our computers. It's all around us.
Right. Should I worry about, even when my iPhone is off, should I worry about Tim Apple listening to my conversations?
It does happen. Oh, absolutely. You could turn your phone off. Your phone's not off. I mean, there's a reason you can't remove the battery from your phone anymore. 10 years ago, you could take the phone out of your battery. You can't now. iPhones, Android, most phones.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, most phones you can't even remove the battery to them. So, I'm an Android user, which is owned by Google, and you can log into your Google account and go listen to your previous conversations. The reason they have that is because, the service that they offer where you can say, okay, Google, and then ask it a question, or hey, Siri,
right,
and then ask it a question. Well, they have to be listening 24 hours a day for them to be able to provide a response, right? So Google made an option where you could go in and listen to all these pre-recordings. Well, I went in and I was showing mine to somebody just to get some laughs, and there was thousands of recordings of me driving down the road, having conversations with people. I was not asking Google a question. I wasn't saying, okay, Google, what's the weather, or what's the directions here? I was just driving down the road, and it was listening, it was recording. So your question, is it listening? 100% of the time.
So Big Brother is listening 100% of the time.
Yeah, it's not just your cell phone. I mean, your thermostat at home, your smart TV. If you've got a smart blender, it's all listening, every bit of it.
If blenders were really smart, would they really be a blender? Or would they not be like a Porsche? A smart blender, huh? Well, it's... have you read George Orwell's 1984?
No, I've heard it.
I don't recommend you read it today because we're like living 1984. It's funny, though. I just thought of this. I haven't heard anyone mention it. Do you know what year the original movie, The Terminator, was released?
I'm thinking 84.
1984. Yeah.
Love it. I love all the Terminator movies. And it's unreal because more and more of what's in the movies have come true.
Hollywood has always been a very good, very accurate on predicting the future, unfortunately. I remember watching, one of my favorite actors was Gene Hackman. He recently died. Were you a fan of Hackman?
Oh, I love them.
I bet you really got into Enemy of the State with Gene Hackman and Will Smith.
Oh, it was great.
I thought then, with the, a senator having people killed and this and that, I'm like, man, I'm glad I live in America. That would never happen. We go back to where your parents said, why do you grow up and find out how the world really works? I'm not even sure they had all this in mind. Mm-hmm. Things have changed. Think about this. CDs with cutting-edge technology for music. Music by the beam of light. Radio stations used to promote that. And they were here for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, the technology. I saw the other day that in a museum they had Walkmans, right? That shouldn't be in a museum. I used to keep them in my pocket.
Yeah,
now they're in a museum.
Absolutely. And you're mid-30s?
Yeah, we'll say that.
So you're in your late 30s, huh? That's not good news for me that you're in your late 30s. How old are you, Josh?
38.
I guess we have known each other for quite some time now. Mm-hmm. Well, at least 3 years. Okay, I love what you've done with professional technology services, the digital
solutions.
side.
Professional technology
What did
solutions.
I say?
Services, but it's professional technology solutions.
I apologize. I got the first two right.
Yeah.
SEO, apps. We build websites. We build or manage websites.
Mm-hmm.
We build or manage social media platforms. We build and help you maintain apps. And one of the big differences in building apps here with us versus other companies that I have talked with about building apps before is that we don't hit you up front for $10,000, right?
That's right.
Can you explain that?
Yeah, we've had numerous customers come to us, and they are relentless from the starting line. As soon as the conversation starts, it's like they've got a weight on their shoulders. They don't even want to have the conversation because they've gone down this path with other tech companies. Most of the time, it's large, corporate companies that are out of state, somebody they can't even meet with in person. And they ask the questions, we need an app for our nail salon or a hair salon or one of the healthy tea shops. And they get hit with a bill up front, $10,000, and then monthly fees on top of that. And the support for that is you fill out a trouble ticket, you send it off, somebody gets back with you, 48 hours later, and they don't have a personal touch. They don't have someone they can sit with and talk to. The apps that we do are unique. I mean, we took the feedback from business owners and created a business model. And I don't think a lot of businesses do that these days. What they do is they create a service or a product, and they fine-tune that service and that product, and then they push it out to market. Before we did that, we figured out, how can we do something different than what everybody else is doing? And that's what we figured out. Well, we don't want to charge somebody a huge amount of money up front that a lot of small businesses can't afford anyway. And so we came up with a totally different pricing model.
Well, and folks feel to take a look at a outstanding website that Josh built, Professional Technology Solutions. Josh called me one day and said, hey, I'm bringing in Michael Ballard, Full Throttle Saloon, up against everybody in the country. Michael is not a guy that doesn't do research. I mean, he is a brilliant businessman. I was blown away by Michael and his wife in a meeting, Josh, what's been 2 years ago or so now?
Oh, yeah. Super funny story. I was actually walking into a Subway here in town. It was lunch break. I was going to get something to eat. And my office phone, when I'm out of office, it forwards to my cell phone. So I had a number, ringing, didn't know who it was. Answered it, and it was Michael Ballard. He had a TV show. He owns the largest biker bar in South Dakota.
Full Throttle Saloon.
Yeah. He has an energy drink called Full Throttle that's licensed through Coca-Cola. He's just got a ton of stuff. He's got his hands everywhere. He actually made millions with bag phones in the 80s. I mean, he's got a crazy
I didn't know that story till he told it.
Yeah. But anyway, so he calls me and he's just like, I'm so-and-so and I need, all this stuff. And I had no idea who he was. And he was like, you really don't know who I am? And I was like, no. He was like, you know what, I'm going to hang up with you and I want you to YouTube me and then call me back.
That's what I should have told you when we met Josh, because Josh didn't know who I was either. I was like, Michael, I know how you feel.
That's right. So I YouTube him. I spend all of 30 seconds typing his name into Google, and I'm like, holy crap, this is probably the biggest account that I've ever had and I might ever have. Called him right back. He doesn't answer the phone. I spend the next 2 weeks calling him at least 15 times, leaving him voicemails, text me. He doesn't call me back. He doesn't return my text, anything. And I'm just like, oh, I blew that. I completely blew my shot. And he called one day, a couple of weeks later. I answered. He was like, hey, man, I don't know if you remember me. My name's Michael. We talked briefly. I never heard back from you. Are you still interested in giving us a quote for a new website? And So I'm like, yes, you wouldn't believe this, but I've called you this, 20 times. And he goes, I don't have one text, voicemail, or missed call from you. And he looked in his phone, and when he hung up with me that first time, he hit block.
Oh, that is funny.
He blocked my number and he didn't mean to. And so he thought I wasn't getting back with him when I really was. So anyway, long story short, we bring him into the office, and we sat down. That's when I introduced you to him. And we talked about his project. He had already interviewed tons of major marketing companies, and he didn't want something off the shelf. He didn't want a cookie-cutter product that everybody else was trying to offer him. And he sat with me. He talked to several people on my staff, and he realized we were the company for him. We could provide a solution that he was looking for, and we did that. And what you see on his website now, fullthrottlesaloon.com, is actually
amazing.
It's actually just the tip of the iceberg. That opened up so many doors in his company. We're in the process of building 7 more websites for different businesses for him. We just recently launched a website for a restaurant that he's involved in Washington, D.C. I mean, just so many projects.
And he is a hands-on type. He dots the I's, crosses the T's. He's a very talented businessman.
Yeah.
And I know you got to go, so we'll wrap this up. You got to go get the kiddos. But if you want to take a look at it, go to fullthrottlesaloon.com and get an idea of exactly what we can do for you when it comes to building websites, SEO, apps, IT, custom websites, social media marketing, free quotes, and website audits. What is a website audit?
So a website audit really comes into the conversation of search engine optimization. So SEO is the acronym, and it's how does your website get to the top of Google for different keywords that people might be typing in. So if somebody types in manicure nails near me or movie times near me, you want your website to pop up at the top of Google for all the different keywords that are relevant to your business. So audit is where we go through your website, we figure out what we can edit on your website, what your competitors are doing to be at the top of Google, and then we formulate a plan of what has to be done SEO-wise to make your business pop up to the top of Google for typically it's between 20 and 25 different keywords or key phrases.
That's awesome. And I tell you this, go to our website. It's still, Josh is still building it out, talkinwesttm.com. Josh has brought over about 30,000 stories to our website, and you can watch local sports on demand, USJ, South Gibson, TCA, JCS, all on our website at talkinwesttm.com under Talkin' Sports. And this thing is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Also, toward the bottom of the page, Talkin' TV. You can watch Mecca Jarman, Mecca on the Move, in Mecca's news reports there, video news, and also Julia in the City down at the bottom. At the top of the page, I have people that call in asking, okay, I can't find the archives of the shows. Well, now it's very easy to find the archive shows. You just where is it? Oh, you see show lineup, top of the page. Right now, it's whatever show that's playing, you'll see at the top. You're listening to the Dan Reeves Show. Just over to the right, show lineup. If you left-click on that, you get a pop-up box, and all the shows are right there. And you just click on the show that you want to watch, and then you'll get dates of all the shows. Once you click on the first one, you'll see playlist toward the top right of the screen. Click on that, and the shows are all dated, and you can go back and watch free on demand whenever you want to. Right, Josh?
That's right. Talking about the archives, we actually just added all the show archives to our app as well. So our app and our website is 2 completely different platforms that offer different things. So we can do different things. We can deliver different things to our audience via those 2 outlets. So if you check our app out, inside of our app, we have all of the show archives with video. So you can go back years and years and watch, your old favorite show, or if an announcement was made on the show or your business was talked about, you can go back and find all that content now.
And the analytics are amazing. Analytics are just hard numbers. Over 1,600,000 visitors just on Facebook in the last 28 days. And the website just blowing us away. Because when it comes to local news, sports, and weather, hey, nobody does it quite like we're doing. We have focused on it. That's what we're doing. You can contact us, Josh, to get that website analysis or audit on your website, to build an app, talk about SEO, whatever you need when it comes to the digital world, you can get it all right here, can't you, Josh?
Yep, we would love to talk to business owners. Dan, you actually sat with a business owner earlier this week. He went to Google and he typed in his own business name, and he was nowhere on Google at all. And he was directly typing in the name of his business. Well,
I typed in the type of business he's in, and didn't show up. And I'm like, dude, do you know this? He's like, it's supposed to be. I was like, what? Why don't you type it and see?
That's
on
right.
his PC. No. Then had to type in the actual name of his business, and he didn't come up even first. Type it in the name of his business.
Right.
SEO is so important. It's necessary in today's world.
That's right. I mean, business owners think just because I have a website, people are going to find me. And unfortunately, that's not true. It's the same as if you opened up a store. Just because you have a storefront and the doors are open, that doesn't mean people are going to walk in. You have to tell people who you are. You have to tell them, what you offer. And if they're interested, then they come in. Well, with SEO, you have to tell, realistically, the search engines everything about you. That way, when somebody's doing a Google search, let's say it's a roof repair near me or something like that.
A number of keywords.
Yeah, Google or Bing, Yahoo, they all need to know who to match you up with a search, a search engine report. And so SEO, it's a thing that's been talked about for 20 years, ever since Ask Jeeves and Yahoo and all those search engines got popular.
Ask Reeves, I remember that.
Ask Reeves, yeah, that was the number one search engine back in the
day. And we have lost out on website builds because we weren't charging $10,000 one time, passed on us, and then had to circle back.
A couple times, yeah. We've had a couple customers not go with our services because our prices are so low. And we tell them, with electronics, everybody thinks you pay for what you get. And a lot of the time that is true, but we set our app prices, our website prices, our social media prices, we set those prices so low for a lot of different reasons. And until we get to explain those reasons to a interested business owner, people just think it's too good to be true. There's a catch. Our explanation is quick and easy, though.
That's right. We lost that. One that comes to mind, the $10,000 build. Then he comes back, and you ask, why didn't you go with us to begin with? Well, because $10,000 versus $3,000, for example, I thought I got so much more. And then you had to rebuild it for him. And since then, it's just been lights out, setting records for the business. There are people saying, but can we catch this real quick? Okay. Josh Smith is here. He's our Chief Technology Officer. And you're live on the air with Josh Smith, Professional Technology Solutions. You're on the air. Go.